Ron DeSantis, who again got the funds passed in the budget to do just this and is now doing exactly what he said, which is what we always ask politicians to do. Well, he's got some non-word salad when it comes to talking about what's going on right now.
Beating their chests when Trump was president, saying they were so proud to be sanctuary jurisdictions, saying how bad it was to have a secure border. The minute even a small fraction of what those border towns deal with every day is brought to their front door, they all of a sudden go berserk, and they're so upset that this is happening. And it just shows you, their virtue signaling is a fraud, okay? They are supporting policies that are just frankly indefensible. It is not defensible for a superpower to not have any control over the territory of its country, over the borders of its country. And he inherited a situation where you didn't have this happening. And yes, we needed to build the wall. There was more that we needed to do. He reversed the Trump policies, knowing what would end up happening. And one of the reasons why we want to transport, because it's expensive if people are coming here. It taxes social services and all these other things.
Don't you guys just love hearing truth? Like when it's just so obvious, it's easy, it's pleasant, you can breathe, it's nice. Interestingly, he makes a great point there about the virtue signaling. Okay, we all get that. But the point is, it's very easy for all of these Democrat mayors and governors to say we're sanctuary cities and states when the border actually works like it did under Trump. Now the border doesn't work, and suddenly they're very upset about that. Viva, you're in Florida now. Very exciting to be here, wouldn't you say?
I'm witnessing it in real time, firsthand. But hearing DeSantis talk, it's easy to speak freely when you're speaking the truth. He doesn't have to mince his words. He doesn't have to cover up for past lies. At one point in time, I remember seeing it from the north. Talking about building a wall was racist. Talking about problematic immigration was racist. And they said it. Now that they've come through, busing them to sanctuary cities is racist, or according to Burns, Hitlerian. And then they say we need a border policy that works. It's only when the policy problem hits their front yard that they start making sense, like Whoopi Goldberg to some extent. Now we need policy that works. Now let's be civil with each other. But until the problem gets to our front door, we are politically rabid and we are politically partisan to the extent that anything you propose that would have otherwise been a rational, logical solution, we're going to frame as racism, bigotry, xenophobia, whatever, to demonize you.
Sara, do you feel like people in Texas are who maybe were on the fence about Abbott, or there's this weird? There are Democrats in Texas. It's weird. Like, do you think people are getting it there? Maybe.
Yeah, I absolutely do. Especially when the alternative is, of course, Robert Francis O'Rourke, who is going to do absolutely nothing to at least try to correct this problem. In fact, he would just let more people in and already towns that are already suffering. So I do think that it has strengthened people's ideas that we can't afford to vote any other way except Governor Abbott. I wouldn't say that anyone is particularly passionate about Governor Abbott as people perhaps are in Florida, but he'll do he'll do much better over Robert Francis O'Rourke. I do want to go back to Kamala as well. It's just so fascinating to see the stark contrast between Kamala Harris answering a simple question. You mentioned she was asked if the border was secure, I think it was last week. And her answer was just, you could tell she's literally coming up with every single word in that moment. She has absolutely no idea where she's going to go to. And then you have Ron DeSantis, who is the exact opposite and gives a very cohesive, correct answer. I also heard, I can't remember if it was Eric Adams or Lori Lightfoot earlier this week say, we need a national solution. Guess what, guys? We have a national solution. It's called enforcing the border laws that already exist. And the fact that they can't comprehend that is just amazing to me. There is a national solution. The border states are already trying to get that done. So perhaps now that this has been dumped in your backyard, maybe you will now agree that we have to enforce our borders. Every other nation does it. We are no different, and it is unsustainable to do anything different.